Yeah. So what about here? I mean, so I got this friend, I'll leave his name out. In high school, we all played in bands together. Okay, it's a funny story. You know how when you get sick, you get a gland will swell up,
Hmm.
in your neck or something. Well, for him, it was his left testicle. And
Oof.
he couldn't show up to band practice because his left testicle had swollen up to the size of a softball and died, and they had to remove it. And another band member said, "Oh yeah, no, oh totally, man. I won't tell anybody." And he went and told everybody at school the next day.
Of course.
But they wouldn't let him keep it. We were like, "Oh, did you get to keep the testicle?" But they wouldn't let him keep it. So it's like I assume this. I guess you get bone. You can have a stillborn baby cremated, and they'll give you the ash. I guess, won't they?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, you have the right to to bury. I mean, so it's weird because I haven't really encountered that over here. So I don't know, I would imagine it's probably not legal. What is it like desiccating a corpse or something like that? I mean, I know
Right.
there
Yeah.
are charges you can get for that. And I mean, clearly in Thailand, it's much easier to get away with going into a cemetery and doing things versus over here.
Right.
We tend to have security guards and things like that. Things tend to be a little more lax over in Thailand. And in Thailand, they'll let you keep your organs and stuff like that when you leave the hospital. Things are they're different, they're different than over here.
Hmm.
So that's kind of why that was kind of a thing for a while before it stopped being a thing. But yeah, I can't imagine that you would really be able to make one of those over here legally without some sort of suspicion or repercussion. Or if you let's say you had a girlfriend or wife, or for whatever reason they were down for that and y'all actually did that. If you tried to sell it or started showing and telling people about it, I'm pretty sure the cops would knock on your door at some point relatively soon.
Right. Yeah. All right. So you were showing me the amulet that you were wearing, and we were talking about this. Do they turn, or would you wear the Guman thong?
Yeah, they do have amulets that are small enough that you can wear. So this one I have is a Bayagay, which is a different type of amulet. It's like cowrie shell filled with mercury, and then it's sealed. And so it's got poly spells on it. It's used for protection and repelling black magic and things of that nature. And by black magic, I mean the stuff that's specifically sent to harm you. But the Gumintang necklaces and stuff that you could have. I have one that I've been working on because I make amulets as well. So this one was an actual necklace, but I turned this into a spirit box and I added stuff to empower it further. But you
I
can
see.
see how this would fit into a locket.
Right. I see.
It's the representation of the baby.
Yeah, it's like it was pressed and then it could be turned into a locket.
Yeah, so those will have holy powders, bone ash, different herbs and stuff, and clays, and then it'll be mixed together. And it's really interesting because a lot of the ingredients that are added together for power tend to be things that would sometimes make scholars' heads just flip. To make some of the holy powders that the monks make, this just sounds like, why would you do that? So they will take the oldest, most sacred and rare Buddhist books, that they'll have, and scriptures, and and we're talking really really old, very valuable, and they'll take the pages from it and they'll burn them and they'll use the ash and mix it in with other ingredients. And it's well, why would you do that? Well, the rareness and the sacredness of it, is considered to give it more power. So then that becomes like ingredient, because when you add all those ingredients together, along with the kata, like the chanting, activating and calling the spirit and encoding with like the commands, and then you put the spirit in the object, all those sacred ingredients add to be like a battery, right? So they give the spirit, you know, juice to operate off of, rather than you just basically having, you know, this human spirit that might normally attach and feed on you. So then it has an actual source, an object, you know, fetish or totem, right? That it can feed off of and accrue reciprocal energy that just is constantly feeding it. And so it's able to do things without having to have a human host to feed from.
They are the most monstrous and gross. If you love slime, then it's about time for oozers.
It's slime time.
Oozers.